say they heard several gunshots. New eruptions of the Kilauea volcano are raising fears on Hawaii's Big Island. Lava is inching closer to a power plant. Tom Roberts, NBC News Radio.
This is an important update from Crystal Mazda. If you need a car, get more for your money all month long at the Crystal Mazda Memorial Day Savings Event. Everything must go. Don't miss one of the biggest events in Crystal Mazda's history. Come see the all-new Crystal Mazda showroom and over 1,000 new and Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles on sale now. If new is not in your budget, right here at Crystal, every Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle goes through a 160-point inspection.
Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum. Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum.
Don't miss the Crystal Mazda Memorial Day Savings Event. It's on now. Crystal Mazda always has and always will make sure their customers get the deals and the customer service they deserve. Crystal Mazda will save you thousands, guaranteed. Crystal Mazda on Route 22 West Greenbrook, New Jersey, or crystalmazda.com. You'll see why the difference is crystal clear.
Oh, shit. At
One stop is all you need to keep your vehicle running great. For the past 25 years, American Tire and Auto Care has done everything from tires to brakes, from preventative maintenance to alignments. And for the month of May, when you buy 3 qualifying Michelin and BF Goodrich tires, get the 4th free. But hurry, fires may be the right kind of tires, the right kind of service, at the right price. American Tire and Auto Care, with 6 convenient locations. Offer excludes run flat tires. See AmericanTires.net for details and exclusions. Offer valid May 1st through 31st.
Asphalt driveways require regular maintenance to get the longest life possible. Filling cracks and sealing your driveway not only makes your driveway look great, but it extends its life. To get a free estimate to seal your driveway, just go to justsealmydriveway.com. Make your driveway last longer and look great. Get your driveway sealing estimate today at justsealmydriveway.com. Do it now. Justsealmydriveway.com. That's justsealmydriveway.com.
Tonight, WCTC brings you all the action of Somerset Treats baseball. I'm Mark Schwartz. Join me for every pitch starting at 6:30.
nothing on that yet, right? We don't know yet.
No, yeah, I heard it.
1450 WCTC, WCTCAM.com.
Brought to you by Financial Resources Federal Credit Union, St. Peter's University Hospital, Ultimate Collision, CB Window Factory, the Somerset County Division of Solid Waste Management, Derby Appliances, and JFK Medical Center.
Checking WCTC traffic, sponsored by Compassion International. Northbound side of 109 is loaded up into Style Street, getting up to Woodlawn Avenue in Linden. Right lane is closed with gas main repair.
Good.
There is a crash in the right lane. You're backed up from exit 148. And another accident south of there by exit 123. Also 206 southbound, a crash at Somerset Street in Raritan. Food, water, education, and more is what you'll give to a child in poverty. Release a child from poverty. Faster.com/radio. 59 degrees, WCTC traffic watch.
Now the 1450 WCTC forecast. A couple of lingering showers here early this evening. Otherwise, we'll see some fog developing through the overnight. Lows dip into the middle and upper 50s. Early morning clouds and some fog breaks out to mostly sunny skies in the afternoon. Highs reach back into the lower 80s, and then temperatures cool back down to the 50s.
Don't forget about the mic.
I meet the urologist, Michael Prianti, on 1450 WCTC.
The opinions expressed during this program are solely the opinions of the host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily represent the views of the advertisers, management, staff, or ownership of WCTC.
This is WCTC's Sound Advice, the local one-hour program designed to give you the knowledge, information, and guidance that helps you make better decisions in your personal and professional lives. Now, WCTC's Sound Advice.
Time now for Talking Sports. Here's your host, Jonathan Friedman.
Good afternoon, Central Jersey. It's Tuesday, and we're talking sports right here on the voice of Central Jersey, Talk Radio 1450 WCTC. I'm John Friedman. Dave Raish is on the other side of the glass. That's the voice you hear when you call the show. Dave, how you doing?
I'm stunned.
somehow the Jets traded Hackenberg.
Oh, what a terrible thing. We got to get into that in just a little bit. Lots to talk about in the next hour. You bring it, we'll talk about it. Give us a call on the Ocean County College call-in line at 732-545-9282. That's 732-545-WCTC Ocean.edu. Also, we're streaming the show. Go to WCTCAM.com, click on that red button, and you'll get us on your mobile device, laptop, etc., and enjoy the show on the World Wide Web. Also, you can follow the show, although we're not live there right now. You can follow me and the show at John's Sports Talk. That's on Twitter. Also, you can get us live right now on YouTube. If you type in Talking Sports with Jonathan Friedman, you'll click right there. You'll see me. I'm live right there. And also to our Facebook watchers there, you can, if you friend Jonathan Friedman, I'll quickly accept your friendship, and we're live there on Facebook. Also, lots to talk about in the next hour, including the NBA and NHL Conference Championships, as you know, are underway. One of the teams is waiting for an opponent. I'll fill you in on who and when and all that information that you're going to need about that team. As you know, sports betting is coming to New Jersey, but wait, not so fast as we originally thought. I'll fill you in on those details. This week's New Jersey Star Ledger Top 10 Girls Varsity Lacrosse Teams is out, and we'll take a look at that, along with the Men's NCAA Men's Lacrosse Final that's coming up this weekend. College football's not too far away. We'll take a look at the Rutgers Scarlet Knights 2018 schedule, a look around the majors, other sports news, your calls, and a lot more. And speaking of calls, give us a call on the Ocean County College call-in line at 732-545-WCTC. That's 732-545 9282. Also, I got a family pack here of 4 for Somerset Patriot Baseball. I'm going to take the fourth caller there at 732-545-WCTC, and we'll give you a family 4-pack of Somerset Patriot Baseball. We're waiting to find out if we'll still be underway tonight. Lousy weather in New Jersey tonight. Getting here took me about, usually takes me about 40 minutes, took me about an hour tonight. Traffic wasn't like slow, but man, it was just, misty and gross. And anyway, supposedly this is going to be out of here tonight, and we'll have a nice day tomorrow. All right, we're going to start it off by Johnny's got a little egg on his face, and I'm going to start it off by talking about the Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics. Now, I'm disappointed in the Boston Celtics, and I'm going to tell you why. After games 1 and games 2, the thing that I walked away with the most of anything was not offense, it was defense. These guys brought their A game defensively, and somehow, some way, it went away in games 3 and 4 in Cleveland. And I just trying to understand, listen, it's a road game. I got it. And as I told you last week, you got to get by the initial 4 minutes and a quarter when that game starts off. And again, what they were making hard in the first 2 games, they did the direct opposite on the road in Cleveland, and that series now is tied at 2-2. Here's the problem, okay? And again, I'm rooting for the Boston Celtics, but here's the problem. It's now tied up, and they got the king, and you don't. And that's the problem. When you have them down 2-0, you got to get one on the road. You got to get one on the road. And I'm shocked. And last night, Boston was hanging around within 10 kind of thing. It would go to 13, 10, and what have you. And I thought, you know what? By the fourth period, I think they're going to make a run, late third, fourth. And it just never happened. And all of a sudden, they're missing shots. And what concerns me about that is when they're missing shots and they're wide open shots. It's not like they're not getting good looks. They're getting really good looks, but they're missing them. And what shows me when you're missing them like that is, are you starting to get the lump in the throat? Are you starting to not be able to handle the pressure? Because you are a very young team. I see them going to Al Horford as many times as possible offensively. I can tell you, Al Horford should never be your first option on offense. He's a good offensive player, got good moves in the low post. You don't want him taking jump shots. He can hit a jump shot. He can hit a three-pointer, but you don't want him taking that. Tatum's unbelievable. He's the one guy who's kind of been pretty steady throughout this thing. I was getting a good look at him over the weekend. Man, he's lanky, and that's a key to success in basketball. He's got that lanky thing going, and so we're going to see. obviously, if Boston does not get Game 5, they're not going to win this series. Obviously, it's a pivotal Game 5, but if Boston doesn't get that, I can't see them. And again, if Boston doesn't get that, they got the king, and they got the king for another 2 games after that. So, sometimes when you have an opponent, you gotta put them down while you can. You can't, and the good teams. That's why I wanted, even though I was rooting for Boston, I wasn't totally sold on them. And I'm watching this, I'm thinking, they're gonna tie this series up, and that's exactly what Boston didn't want because. The Game 5 pressure is on the home team. It's not on the road team because the road team's going home regardless. So that's the deal there. And we'll see, when it's funny, in the game in the second quarter, J.R. Smith committed a foul on one of the guards taking a 3 for Boston, right? Questionable foul, doesn't matter. It was a foul, and he was taking a 3. He gets up there, and he can cut it to 9 or 7 at that point, and he clanks 2 of the first 3 free throws. You can't do that. You can't do that. When they make dumb mistakes, you got to capitalize them. I can't stand to watch NBA players who cannot make free throws. I will go right now outside at the basket and hit at least 85% of my free throws. These guys don't do that. It drives me absolute batty. So anyway, they'll pick that series up tomorrow in Boston. I believe it's tomorrow. And, the only thing I didn't think was fair about the Boston thing in regards to this, and I can't stand it, and it's all about television, obviously. They played last Tuesday or Wednesday, then didn't play till Saturday. For a young team, they want to get right back on the court and play, where Cleveland, a little older, they use that extra time to rest. So, and again, it's about television, but, every other day, let's go, let's play. I mean, it just drives me crazy, that thing. In the other series, you got Golden State and Houston. Golden State up 2-1. Play tonight, I believe, Game 4 in Golden State. They're just a notch below. Houston's a good team, great team, had a great year, 60 wins, 1 seed in the West, but just doesn't have enough. The one thing I always walk away with the Golden State Warriors is when they played great team defense. Can't remember an NBA team that played as well, maybe the Bulls, that played as well as a team together defensively. And that's the recipe, because what happens is that goes into turnovers, and then the Golden State Warriors start to get the run. And when you do that with that offensive firepower, you can do it. They're just a notch above, and that's not to say Houston's not good. Houston's just not ready for that next step. They're still a player away getting there, and they will. They've got 2 good players now on that team. Now they'll add another guy, so they're getting there. There's a process. So, but maybe they can get one. Maybe they may get one tonight in Golden State. I don't personally think they will. I personally only think it's going 5 in that series. They got their 1 game at home, but listen, I want them to go as long as possible on these games because it just keeps everything going. So, and obviously in the NHL, that the Washington Capitals and the Tampa Bay Lightning are going Game 7 tomorrow night in Tampa. I can't tell you who I think's going to win. Washington last night to survive played Tampa's game. They were the guys who were roughing and toughing and checking kind of thing, and got away from the finesse game and got into some hard smash mouth hockey, so to speak. And they had it going on last night. So now there's a Game 7. Again, as I always tell you, the Game 7 pressure, obviously it's on both teams. But if you're the Tampa Bay Lightning, in a one game at home, anything can happen. A turnover could happen. Something crazy could happen. So that's a Game 7 tomorrow. That should be a doozy. And as you know, the first one was in 1967. The St. Louis Blues as an expansion team. The Las Vegas Golden Knights will represent the Western Conference. I still can't believe it. Will represent the Western Conference in the NHL Finals. And it's just crazy. I'll get into that later in the show. I'll talk about, how many teams and how they've done against other expansion teams. Right now, they're probably number 1 in every category. We got a call on one. We do. John in Somerset. Go ahead. You're on Talking Sports on a Tuesday.
I don't know what to talk about. The Patriots. That's about it.
You want to talk about the Patriots?
Yeah, about the upcoming game tonight.
Sure. Oh, you mean with the Somerset Patriots? Yeah, go ahead.
They're having a very good year this year. They beat Texas the first time, 2 out of 3. and they're going out to Long Island this weekend for 3 big on Friday, Saturday. 3-game series out Long Island this year.
Nice. Well, it's turned out to be a nice rivalry between the Patriots and the Long Island Ducks.
It's been a rival since I remember, since beginning of the year with both two good, very good coaches and 2 excellent ball teams.
Oh, that's great. So tell me, do you go to games regularly? Do you listen to them regularly on the radio? Tell me about that.
Do I do what?
Do you go to games regularly in Somerset, or do you listen to the games here on CTC?
Because of the weather. I'm only 10 minutes from the ballpark.
Nice.
I've been the #1 fan there since 1998, since the stadium opened in Somerset. I've been in the Patriot fan club for over 20 years.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. And
I went to work one day, and when they put me up in a hotel with the players there, I couldn't do that. I just had to buy my food. The players wanted me to stay, but I can't give up my weekend stuff that I do.
Ah, good for you then. Good for you. And so, what's the, who?
I don't care what we get, and that would put you up with the team.
Who's your favorite Somerset Patriot?
They're all my favorites.
They're all your favorites.
Special player because they all move on. The one guy there, he's a coach now. He's a coach for a team now. Frontier League.
Well, you sound like you're a knowledgeable fan, so I'm going to ask you a quick question. Who was the last guy on the Patriots? Obviously, it hadn't happened this season, but last season or maybe a season. Who was the last guy that actually got to a major league ball club from the Patriots?
Oh, I can't answer that question because they had 18 guys move on, the most ever in their 20-year history last year.
How about that? Oh, so they've really turned the team over.
Oh, yeah, and this year they had 2 starting pitchers that were supposed to be here. Before they even started, they were drafted before the season.
Did you get a chance to see Kyle Davies play yet?
Oh, yeah, he pitched good. He pitched the other day, 6 innings, he pitched a 1-hitter.
There you go. Very nice. Yeah, former Brave, Kansas City.
He's a very, very nice person, that Kyle Davies.
Great.
He's a good guy trying to get back to the majors.
Got it. All right, John, thank you so much for the call. Keep listening, and it's great that the fans of the Somerset Patriots reach out and give the show a call. Thanks for calling. All right, so there's your little update. I think Mark Schwartz was going to join us today. I didn't know how he was left off, so if he's in the stadium, Mark, you can give me a call if you want. All right, you're listening to Talking Sports on a Tuesday with me, John Friedman. Give me a call on the Ocean County College call-in line at 732-545-9282. That's 732-545 WCTC. We're going to check weather, traffic. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Jonathan Friedman. You might know me as the host of Talking Sports on WCTC, but I do have a day job. I'm the Business Development Director at SCG Advertising and Public Relations in Parsippany, and I'd like to tell you about how SCG can help advertisers reach their potential customers in today's fast-paced, technology-driven world. There are so many options from all the traditional media to the practically limitless digital and social platforms that are available, making it harder than ever for businesses to get their message in front of the right audience.
Well,
at SCG, we help our clients strengthen their relationships, reputations, and brands by integrating their message across the entire media spectrum. We understand the options available to advertisers, and we will work with you to determine the best creative and media plan for your business. So learn more about SCG Advertising and Public Relations by visiting scgadv.com. That's scgadv.com. We'll help you reach your potential customers, all of them.
If your IRS tax debt is out of control, if you're over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the IRS doesn't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in tax tax debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. The IRS is now accepting reduced settlements from individuals who owe back taxes. Participation and special initiative by the IRS can reduce your payments by thousands of dollars. Net Credit Group is now offering free information on how to virtually eliminate and settle your tax debt once and for all. To see how much you can save, call the special service hotline before the program expires. Simply call this number, 800-554-6899. Don't miss your chance to reduce your IRS tax debt by thousands of dollars. Be protected and never contact the IRS without speaking to us first. In just 10 minutes, we can save thousands. 800-554-6899. 800-554-6899. 800-554-6899.
Checking WCTC traffic. This report sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Double trouble on the Parkway. Crash in the right lane southbound approaching the Union Tolls. Jammed up from exit 148. Then after laser back up from Turnpike, that with the right lane blocked as well. Big delays through the Colitis Foundation. The bike's going to take steps to clear to walk the net new traffic.
Now the 14th, 5th, and early here this goes in the middle to upper 50s. Wednesday morning we'll see clouds and some fog, also warmer with highs in the lower 80s. Temperatures.
All right, we're back. We're calling line at 732-545-9282. That's 732-545-WCTC Ocean. .edu. So I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the Las Vegas Knights, an expansion team. A few things I noticed, by the way. I don't know if this was done on purpose or not, and you know, since I've had cataract surgery, I could be a little colorblind also. But Dave, it looks like to me, did you notice that the Knights of Las Vegas, the Golden Knights, don't they have the colors of the Raiders? It kind of looks like they have that bad boy kind of Raider look to them, and I don't know if maybe that was kind of on purpose, knowing the Raiders were there. Or, yeah, kind of the black and, you know, kind of colors and whatever. And but I certainly not in my lifetime, although in my lifetime, in 1967, as an expansion team, the St. Louis Blues went to the Stanley Cup, but did not win the Stanley Cup. So this is the first expansion team. And I still am shocked that, you know, and I had a caller on our show on Thursday nights at WMTR. In October, I had a caller, and he called me. He says, "Hey, John, I'm just wondering what you think after the first 3 weeks with the Golden Knights of Las Vegas in first place." And I said, "Oh, well, it's great. It's very early, and I got to believe by the end of the season, they won't be a playoff team. They'll end up one of the worst teams in the league, yada, 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 yada." Well, obviously, right? I mean, it's not like I was throwing something out there and shooting for the best answer. That was what would be the typical answer then. And we watched them all year. I would cover, you know, I'd check on them every week for each show just to see where they are, and they never went away. It literally took about the last 2 weeks of the season for them to kind of slide down, and I think they went in as a 3 seed into the playoffs, I'm pretty sure. Kind of slide down or whatever, but still a great, fabulous year, what have you. And going into the playoffs, you know, they felt good about themselves, got some good seeds and got some good matchups. And who would have thought in the Western Conference Finals that that's twice I've done that now, that Las Vegas and Winnipeg would play to represent the Western Conference. I looked everywhere. Nobody predicted that. So Vegas, you know, what an incredible thing. The advantages now of them as a franchise, forgetting this year if they win the Stanley Cup, they've already now established not only a hometown crowd that'll love them forever no matter what happens, but now you've got a national scene out there. Everybody nationally is following the Vegas Golden Knights because they've got it going on. So, you know, you see people that when they were growing up, and a great example I like to give people is the Atlanta Braves always had fans all over the country because people fell in love with them because they were on the Superstation, you know, and ended up falling in love with them through bad years. So now that the Knights in their first expansion year are going to represent the West in the Cup, these are fans that'll never go away, and they could never go to a Cup for years. Can you imagine all the NHL teams right now and the GMs of the NHL teams, the Buffaloes of the world, the Torontos of the world, the Panthers have been there, but the Florida. I mean, we could just keep going on and on and on. Phoenix, all of these teams that, that have never been to the Cup before. And, if you're a GM right now, you're shaking your head, man, walking around the corner. Are they talking about me in the office? Because, I'm not going to use the word embarrassment. But, gosh, you got a GM that put a team together over a year and a half. Now, the expansion draft has changed. It's become much harder to protect your better players, but they still had to come together. They still had to have great coaching. They still had to have everything go your right. For you to get into a championship in any sport, at any level, things have got to go your way. And the silliest things have got to go your way. And that is what has happened to the Golden Knights. And no matter who they play, whether it's going to be the Capitals or it's going to be Tampa Bay, most of the country will be rooting, I've got to believe, for the Golden Knights. Now, here's the problem, though. What's the ratings going to be like? Now, Tampa or Washington. If Washington gets in, it's great. You got Ovechkin, you've got a superstar, yada, yada, plus the Knights. That's the best case scenario for the NHL. But I guess, Washington, big market, you got that along with Vegas, with people falling in love with them. And Vegas has actually become a pretty decent-sized market. But so what the NHL is very happy about, that there's no chance that Winnipeg can be in the finals this year and have to play, for example, Tampa Bay. That would have been the worst thing possible for the NHL because, frankly, nobody would have cared. And I'm just being honest with you. From a television, you would have had your hockey guys that like to that are going to watch the games regardless. But the guy who's going to watch this series, who normally wouldn't watch a series, definitely was not going to watch a series like that. So the NHL is rooting for the superstar in Washington and the Capitals to be facing the Golden Knights, but it's going to be hard for the Capitals. They've played so well the last two games that, you've got a desperate Tampa team that I can't even tell you which way that game's going to go because they've both played the opposite of each other in the last few games. So it's really up in the air, and see where it goes and see what happens. So it's going to be real interesting to see. I'm really looking forward to that. I believe that game's tomorrow night in Tampa. The place will be rocking. The Capitals are another team. I can't remember even if they were or the last time they were in a Stanley Cup Finals. They've been around for a long time. So, that could be interesting too. 98 was the last time. Thank you, Dave. Although that's not terrible, and they didn't win it though, did they? Did they? Yeah, I didn't think they won it. So, now you got two teams that have never won the Stanley Cup possibly, or Tampa Bay has. So Tampa has won a Stanley Cup. So, and if they go back to the Stanley Cup, that's going to be very impressive also. Then in the last 15 years or whatever it is that they've gone back to the Cup. Also in news, and we'll talk about it a little bit later today, how about the Islanders today or yesterday hiring the Devils' former Devil GM and president, Lou Lamoriello? That's a fabulous move. We'll talk about that a little later. We'll go over New Jersey high school girls lacrosse. We got the Giants to talk about. We got Major League Baseball. You're listening to Talking Sports on a Tuesday with me, John Friedman. Give me a call on the Ocean County College call-in line at 732-545-WCTC, ocean.edu. We'll be right back.
From the Procure Proton Therapy Cancer Treatment Studios, this is 1450 WCTC, New Brunswick, a Beasley Media Group station.
NBC News Radio, I'm Brian Shook. President Trump says he's detected a change in North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's attitude after Kim met with Chinese President Xi.
I don't like that. I don't like it from the standpoint of China. Now, I hope that's not true.
At the White House today, Trump also called President Xi a world-class poker player. North Korea recently threatened to pull out of Trump's June 12th summit, with Kim citing anger about joint military exercises between the U.S. and South Korea. The North is also unhappy about Trump's insistence on denuclearization. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is defending his hard line on Iran. Earlier this week, Pompeo threatened Iran with very tough new sanctions if it doesn't change course. At the State Department today, Pompeo accused Iran of provoking unrest throughout the volatile Middle East. Some Republican lawmakers are calling for the appointment of a second special counsel to investigate the Justice Department and the FBI.
The initial FBI probe into the Trump campaign and alleged collusion with Russia was launched in July 2016 based on questionable and insufficient intelligence and biased motivations.
In a Capitol briefing today, New York Republican Lee Zeldin alleged high-level misconduct in the Russia investigation. Former Kohl's CEO Don Blankenship is not giving up on his Senate bid and says he's going to run as a third-party candidate.
The West Virginia Republican lost in the recent primary after serving a year in prison in connection with the deadly 2010 Upper Big Branch mine explosion. He said on Monday he's still trying to get on the ballot to take Democrat Joe Manchin's seat and also beat out Republican candidate Attorney General Patrick Morrisey. Tom Roberts, NBC News Radio.
There are new fears after another explosive eruption of Hawaii's Kilauea volcano. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory says an ash plume blasted out at the summit about 3:45 this morning. Officials say lava is slowly flowing towards a geothermal power plant. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
Hi, this is Jonathan Friedman. You might know me as a host of Talking Sports on WCTC, but I do have a day job. I'm the business development director at SCG Advertising and Public Relations in Parsippany, and I'd like to tell you about how SCG can help advertisers reach their potential customers in today's fast-paced, technology-driven world. There are so many options, from all the traditional media to the practically limitless digital and social platforms that are available, making it harder than ever for businesses to get their message in front of the right audience. Well, at SCG, we help our clients strengthen their relationships, reputations, and brands by integrating their message across the entire media spectrum. We understand the options available to advertisers, and we will work with you to determine the best creative and media plan for your business. So learn more about SCG Advertising and Public Relations by visiting scgadv.com. That's scgadv.
Do you want to mark now?
We got a mark. You on? Is he on?
Yeah.
We'll go after the break. Oh, there's yeah.
What? Oh, I got that.
Go see my buddies at DCH Academy Honda on Route 9 in Old Bridge. They have a large selection of all new Honda makes and models.
Yeah, you know what? I heard that they earned the 2017 5-Star Dealer Award from Edmunds.com, along with the 2017 Consumer Satisfaction from Dealer Rater.
They also have a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles that go through a rigorous 182-point inspection.
All right, so check them out at DCHAcademyHonda.com. That's DCHAcademyHonda.com.
When it comes to growing your business and increasing sales, we all want to get ahead. Wednesday night at 5:30 on WCTC and WCTCAM.com. Join Milton Paris and Mike Galkin for Getting Ahead in Business, a powerful, fast-paced, and informative one-hour program designed to help your business succeed. Meet Jersey's top decision makers and business pros and learn how to compete in the ever-changing worlds of business and sales. That's Getting Ahead in Business, Wednesday night at 5:30 on WCTC. We find more in technology every day for helping us with everything from finding a place to eat to searching for the best dentist for our kids' toothache. We tend to turn to Google. Jeremy Stewart at YouCanBeFound.com or 732-462-6019 has been helping businesses get found in Google for over a decade. He's a Google certified partner and is an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Do it right with YouCan.
Tarp is off. That's unfortunate.
Call
The what?
Tarp is off.
Oh, it is.
It's
all right.
I asked, I said, he'll go longer, and now the tarp's off.
American Tire and Auto Care has done everything from tires to brakes, from preventative maintenance to alignments. And for the month of May, when you buy 3 qualifying Michelin and BF Goodrich tires, get the 4th free. But hurry, the offer expires May 31st. The right kind of tires, the right kind of service, at the right price. American Tire and Auto Care, with 6 convenient locations. Offer excludes one flat tire. See AmericanTires.net for details and exclusions. Offer valid May 1st through 31st. St. Peter's has been serving the communities of central New Jersey for over 110 years. Individuals and community businesses may support St. Peter's by participating in the St. Peter's Foundation Community Golf Outing on Tuesday, June 12th. The outing is at the Forest Gate Country Club in Monroe Township. This year's event will benefit the Craniofacial and Neurosurgical Center at St. Peter's Children's Hospital. Shotgun start for the team scramble begins at 8 a.m., followed by a networking reception and lunch. For more information, call St. Peter's Foundation at 732-745-8542.
Checking WCTC traffic at the 5 o'clock hour. Still delayed on the Parkway southbound side. An accident approaching Union Tolls in the right lane. Backed up from exit 148. More delay south of there from